Thanks for joining the call today. At the outset, I would like to thank the management for giving us an opportunity to host this call. From the management, we have Shri Sanjeev Singhal, Chairman and Managing Director, Additional Charge and Director Finance; Commodore Jasbir Singh, Indian Navy retired, Director Submarine and Heavy Engineering; Shri Biju George, Director Shipbuilding; and Commodore Vasudev Puranik, Indian Navy, Director Corporate Planning and Personnel. Without much ado, I would invite Shri Singhal for opening remarks, post which we will open the floor for an interactive Q&A session. Thanks, and over to you, sir.
Yes, good evening, everybody. First of all, my huge thanks to all the investor community for reposing a consistent faith in the Mazagon of Shipbuilders. And I assure you that going forward also the company will continue to perform the way it has been performing. This quarter also has been a good quarter for us, and in fact we have recorded the highest ever quarterly profit, and highest ever 9 months profit. Of course, a couple of reasons have been there for the good performance, which I have indicated earlier also, that in case of P75 submarines, we have delivered 5 submarines between 2017 to 2022. And as per the contract, as all these submarines were beyond the contractual timelines, liquidated damages penalty was levied on MDL. However, MDL has taken up the case with Indian Navy, giving the justifications why the delay is not attributable to MDL, and the applications have been considered favorably. So in the last quarter also, we have received the refund with respect to third submarine. First and second submarine we have received earlier. Third submarine we have received in third quarter, and we also expect, with respect to fourth submarine also, we expect positive results. So maybe it could be in this quarter. So this has been one of the features which has contributed to the profit of the company. In addition, whenever we deliver the platforms prior to the delivery schedule or as per the contractual schedule, it always has a sobering effect on the costs and a positive effect on the profits. Because in case of delay of any platform, even if the delay is not attributable to MDL and finally the liquidated damages penalty is not levied on MDL, the maintenance of that platform and the utilization of labor and other resources of the company over the extended period of time adds up to the costs and eats into the profits. So the third destroyer, which we delivered in the month of October 23, excuse me, this destroyer was delivered almost 5 months ahead of schedule. So whenever the deliveries are made ahead of schedule, there is a consistent and significant saving in terms of costs, which adds to our profit. So with these opening remarks, I look forward to your queries and anything which the investors would like to know.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Rohit Natarajan from Antique Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Thank you for this opportunity. So my first question is on the nominated 3 add-on submarines. What is the status of it? Will model code of conduct be a deterrent to get it awarded, or should we expect it by June? Could you talk something on the timeline, the cost structure? That will be really helpful, sir.
I'll request Commander Jasbir Singh, who is the Director Submarine and Heavy Engineering, to address this.
Yeah. Good afternoon to you. As you are aware, we have already submitted the bid almost 2 months ago to the Navy, and the procedure has already started. And this procedure will, as I understand, will continue. And there are a lot of activities in between. That is, the cost committee has to complete their particular benchmarking. Then they have to call us for PNC. And after PNC, then the contracts will be exchanged. So it is a certain amount of time is available. So with respect to your question of model code of conduct, I think this will be, according to us, will be moving parallelly.
Sir, the realistic time frame in which this letter of award can be issued, is there something that we have in mind?
See, we as MDL are hoping that the order comes earliest, and so we are putting all efforts. We have all organization in place. We are interacting at a very as quick, promptly as required with the government as well as Indian Navy. However, how much time the government procedures would take, we won't be able to comment on that. It could be any time, let's say 4 months to 8 months time.
Sure, sir. I really appreciate that part. My second question is more to do with the P75I AIP. There are some talks about the German partners making approaches to the government straight and saying that they could rework on the timeline on a nomination order. Any color on those aspects, as well as what is the current status of the technical assessment that's going on?
The technical assessment is there with the Indian Navy. So I'll answer that question first. And they are progressing with the technical assessment. And it has not concluded that we know, because it also includes the field evaluation trial, which is part of the technical assessment. So that is, going to be happening in a few months from now. However, as regards whether government is or the German government is interacting with the Indian government, we don't have any idea about that. We are aware of our, inputs that we receive from the Navy for moving ahead with the technical negotiations and the technical assessment part.
Sir, any timelines in which this could get concluded and new awarding or the awarding could possibly happen? Any picture on those aspects?
That timeline, as well, I think the government is also in a way bound, as well as we are bound to give our inputs as according to the Defence Acquisition Procedure, DAP 2020, based on which there is a timeline which requires about, say, but if we go by that, it would take about 8 to 10 months to conclude, or maybe little more than that.
Got it, sir. I really appreciate that part. So my final question is on the slowdown in terms of acceptance of necessities for new vessels. And even the ones which have got AON hasn't moved into that bidding stage. Any color on that, especially on next generation corvettes and prospect next generation destroyer?
So for the next, you can introduce yourself. Yeah. I'm Vijay George, Director of Shipbuilding. See, the next generation corvettes is still in the pipeline. It's not very clear when we will get the opportunity to participate in the RFP, but it is expected shortly. As far as the next generation destroyers are concerned, so that is also in a very preliminary stage of processing. But as far as the Navy's force levels are concerned, these large combat vessels are as part of the plan for their augmentation. So we are definitely a contender for next generation destroyers, considering our experience in building combat platforms here. So at the same time, at this moment we are unable to forecast any clear dates when that order is going to become a reality.
That's it from my side. I will get back into it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Vignesh Iyer from Sequent Investment. Please go ahead.
Congratulations, sir, on an excellent set of numbers, and thank you for the opportunity. Sir, I would like to know if any major delivery that is going to happen from our side for quarter 4 and any delivery that is expected in FY25.
Yeah, as far as the deliveries are concerned, I just informed that we have delivered one large platform, that is third destroyer Impal in October 23. And for Team Bravo, we have already delivered 3 destroyers. The 4th destroyer we are targeting for delivery in 24-25, sometime maybe in second quarter or early third quarter. In addition, with respect to 17 Alpha frigates also, we would be targeting the delivery of the first frigate in 24-25 before December this year.
Okay, this is CY24, right? If I get it correct. And what is the total value of this destroyer frigate? The total project value itself.
Project value for 15 Bravo destroyers is roughly 32,000 crores, and for the frigates, 4 number of frigates, it is around 27,000 crores.
Oh, okay, right. Sir, I just want to know what is the total cash balance with us as on 31st December, and how much of that cash balance actually is ours? I mean, minus the advance that we have received.
Minus the advances, the cash which belongs to the company is slightly in excess of 3,000 crores.
Right. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'll get back in the queue.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Amit Vora, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations, sir. My question is regarding, sir, the improvement in margins. The margins have improved this quarter and as compared to last quarter. What would you attribute it to?
I think in my opening remarks itself, I very categorically stated the reasons for the better margins. One is the refund of the liquidated damages for the one number of submarine in quarter 3. And second, our delivery of the third destroyer almost 5 months ahead of schedule. So these two have been the major factors which have contributed to better margins. Going ahead, we expect one more refund of the LD with respect to one submarine in quarter 4. And depending upon the delivery of the 4th destroyer, which again we are trying for early delivery, there could be better margins.
You think, sir, these margins can be sustainable for at least next 2 or 3 quarters?
Yeah, this would depend upon the deliveries, but we are as of now we are expecting that.
Okay. And one more question, sir. Regarding this, there is this MDL has signed a contract with European client regarding 3 units of 7,500 DWT. So this order is apart from the 38,000 order. I'm sure it is that way only, the 38,389 crore order.
Oh, it is a part of the total order book.
It is a part of, and even along with this ONGC order also is a part of the total order book.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you, sir. That's it from my side.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Sriharsha KJ, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello. Good evening, sir, and then congratulations on an excellent set of numbers. In your opening remarks, you told that you have received LD amount in Q3/24, and there is a possibility of also receiving LD in Q4. Is it possible to quantify the amount of LD which you have received in this quarter and the amount which you probably going to receive in Q4 of 24?
Yeah, Q3 is approximately 160 crores, and Q4 it would depend upon the assessment of the finally what is assessed by the Navy, the delay attributable to MDL, but we are expecting in a similar range, 150 to 160 crores.
Okay. And then your order book as of 31st December was 38,389 crores. Possible to give the breakup or by what time you will be liquidating that order backlog?
Right now, the list of orders is slightly longer, so a breakup of each of the orders would be slightly difficult. But as far as the liquidation is concerned, 15 Bravo, we have already delivered 3 destroyers. So 4th destroyer we target to deliver sometime in second quarter or third quarter of FY25. So this would be closing 15 Bravo broadly, and 17 Alpha frigates. We plan to start the deliveries. It is 4 frigates, so we plan to deliver the first frigate by December of 24-25. This would be continuing for another 3 years or so approximately. And balance deliveries with respect to the Coast Guard ships and the export orders, these would be spread over the next 3 years, 3.5 years.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Next question is from the line of Amit Dixit from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. I would just plug in few questions before the line gets actually populated. So my question is more on some strategic view. If you look at the budget allocation for naval fleet in the interim budget, then the allocation is very, very static. I understand that there are deliveries to be made. So most of this budget allocation could be towards the committed liabilities. Now, since there is no increase compared to last year's revised estimate, so is it reasonable to expect that some of this ordering that we are expecting might be pushed to next financial year?
The order actually materializing in the sense, as per our experience is concerned, there is no funds, there has not been any constraint with respect to the funds. And whatever allocation has been made, as you rightly said, it is with respect to the expenditure which is already committed. So even if the orders are getting finalized, the expenditure would be flowing in over next couple of years. So during this particular financial year or financial year 25, we don't expect a significant buildup of expenditure. So the budget would not be a constraint in that regard.
Okay. That's well understood, sir. The second question is essentially if I look at the your order inflow for this year, now this has been pretty impressive. In fact, compared to other shipbuilders, if we look at it. So do we expect some more orders in the remaining part of FY24, or we are mostly done for this year?
As far as FY24 is concerned, if you really look at it, for the last couple of years, Mazagon Shipbuilders has not booked any fresh orders. The last major order was in 2015, that is with respect to frigates, and then one MRLC in 2017-18. Apart from this, there has not been any major order booking. So, as far as FY23-24 is concerned, there have been substantial booking. Up to December, we have booked orders more than 6,000 crores. Including January, we have already booked orders more than 7,000 crores. And if we go into the detailing of these orders are from the Coast Guard, these orders are from ONGC, and these orders are also from the export segment. And in fact, there are some small orders from Nepal also. So there is a diversification in all the directions. So we are exploring all these markets and all these segments. FY24, we are almost only 1.5 months is remaining, so difficult to say whether any further fresh order booking would be there in FY24. But going ahead, yes, we are open to all segments. We'll be exploring them.
Okay. So on the ONGC order, just wanted to understand that this one is a kind of, a different kind of order as compared to what you normally do. So can we expect better margins in this order?
And as regard ONGC orders, as of now we are, making inroad into an area where we were there about 20 years ago. It will take a while by the time, and we are competing against the people who have been earlier already quoting. So they are the margins are similar to what the government gives right now. And more so it's from PSU. So there is no higher margins are not available than what government is giving.
I can say we are keeping our fingers crossed with respect to the execution of this particular project. Because right now the emphasis is on a successful and timely execution. As far as the margins are concerned, in case we are able to execute it in a timely manner, there should not be much of a concern with respect to margins.
And on margins only, sir, if I look at your margins over last, let us say, 10, 12 quarters, these have been quite high compared to the other shipbuilders in the country, at least the listed ones that we are aware of. Now, you have rightly highlighted, some of it has to do with the LD refund, some of it has to do with the early delivery. Now, early delivery is something that we have been seeing in quite a few platforms you have delivered in the recent past. So, is it reasonable to expect that, and you also indicated that destroyers also, you are making all possible endeavors to deliver it ahead of time. So is it reasonable to expect that now for us, the margin profile has shifted up, or we can expect that government will come and, the next orders will again pull you down to the similar kind of margins as stated in the regulations?
As far as this is concerned, this will always be a cat and mouse game. If on nomination basis, yes, once you execute an order, the figures are out in the open. But at the same time, with the experience, with the skills gained, with the experience gained, and with the improvement in processes, you also improve your cost structure. It will always be very situational and different from each project. Some of the projects like P-75 Scorpion submarines has been a cost-plus project with certain ceilings with respect to expenditure on different heads. The other two contracts which we have been executing, they have been hybrid contracts, 15 Bravo and 17 Alpha. Going ahead with respect to the export order, with respect to the Coast Guard orders, with respect to ONGC orders, they are by and large fixed price contracts. Depending upon the segment from which we are getting the order, depending upon the nature of the contract, depending upon what kind of experience we have already gained, so there will be a lot of factors which will be having a bearing on the profitability. It's difficult to say that there would be with certainty that there would be a stability in the profits. At times they can be more, at times they can be a bit under strain also.
Yeah, but sir, if I look at it, the EBITDA margins have been thankfully consistently better. They have been above the conventional range that we have been used to seeing. So these cost efficiencies, as I hear from you, are there to stay.
This is projects which have been continuing for a while. So now these projects would be culminating. 15 Bravo would be culminating. P-75 would be culminating this year. 17 Alpha only would be continuing for next maybe around 3 years. So with respect to fresh projects, it would depend upon whether they are on nomination basis, they are on competition basis, what kind of a pricing we are able to get, what kind of timelines are there. So had these projects been continuing, yes, it is more plausible to say that similar margins would continue. But as the overall order book profile changes, there could be certain shifts in the profit margins also, both upwards, downwards.
Okay. Understood, sir. Another question is a data point question. Essentially, what would be the contract liability with this case?
Contract liabilities, they are taken care by the advances, so not much of a concern. They are almost similar. Whatever contract liabilities are there, approximately 9 to 10,000 crores would be there. Corresponding to that, there is a work in progress also. So on a net basis, there would not be any significant amount.
Great, sir. Thank you so much for answering my questions. Manjula, you can move to the participant list now.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Rahul, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity, ma'am. First of all, congrats to the management and all the people working in NBL for putting up such a great records or results and working hard towards achieving all the targets. Sir, a few weeks back or a month back, I think we heard about some OFS by the government. Is there any progress or how is that moving, or would you like to comment on that?
Actually, if you can come back again, your voice is not very clear. We couldn't get the query.
Okay, so is it clear now?
If you can slightly keep the microphone slightly at a distance.
Oh, okay. How is it now?
Yeah, please continue.
Okay. Sir, first of all, I just congratulated you all, your team and everyone for...
You can come directly to your query.
Okay. Sir, there was an OFS,
OFS. Okay.
Yeah, so do you have any update on that? Thanks.
Actually, as far as a government company, there is a separate ministry under Ministry of Finance. There is a separate department, DIPAM, Department of Investment Planning and Asset Management, which looks into these aspects. So we would not be privy to their planning and their requirements. They have certain targets. I would not know what all companies they are targeting for divestment or further OFS.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Prabir and from Ratnabali Investment Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So I have two questions. As you are in frigate, destroyers, and submarine, so is there any plan you have to diversify into aircraft carrier segment? This is number one. And
which segment?
Aircraft carrier.
Aircraft carrier. Okay. Yeah. Continue, please.
Yes. Number two is I understand that you are waiting for the next set of submarine. Now, I wanted to know one thing, like because India roughly have, as per my understanding, around 15-18 submarines, whereas our adversaries has much more than that. So India must have a long-term plan to acquire more number of submarines. So can you throw some light that how many submarines they are looking at and for a span of how many years, so that we can understand the scope of opportunity for India?
Your two queries. With respect to the aircraft carrier, I would like to clarify that Mazagon Shipbuilders is not looking at aircraft carrier. As per our understanding, the requirement of these platforms is very few in numbers. Recently, one number has been delivered by Cochin Shipyard Limited, and we don't expect in near future more than one more may be required. So the kind of facilities which are already available at the CSL, there is no reason to replicate such facilities where the business volumes are very, very low. With respect to the submarines, we are aware, maybe must be having their own plans, but as far as MDL is concerned, MDL is privy to two projects. One is the additional submarines, 3 numbers, Scorpion class, of which we have already delivered 5, and the 6th one we are targeting delivery this year. And another 6 submarines with on the project P75I with AIP and lithium-ion batteries, for which MDL has submitted the bid last year, August. So both these are under evaluation right now, and it will take some time before the things are finalized, which Director Submarine and Heavy Engineering has already replied to a previous query.
Okay, so I have another question. As you are into this frigates and destroyers, so you said that in this call only, you said you are sure you have MDL have an advantage in destroyers, but not corvettes. So is there any specific capacity required for manufacturing corvettes, or if you do not have that capacity, so whom do you think that age has to get this kind of orders?
In fact, we have not made that statement where we have any capacity constraint as far as corvettes is concerned. What I was trying to convey was that right now we are not sure when the next generation corvettes will materialize. As far as corvettes are concerned, it is in the order of complexity. First one is the destroyers, then comes the frigates, then comes the corvettes. So in terms of capability here, we have done corvettes in the past also. So absolutely there is no deficit in terms of capability. In terms of capacity, since these are vessels of lower dimensions, that also can be very well handled within our premises.
So basically, when we are saying that MDL is the only shipyard which has the experience of constructing destroyers, so destroyers is the most complicated naval war platform amongst the ships. Corvettes come 2 notches below frigate and below destroyer and below frigates. So these are not that much complicated vessels. We are very much capable of building corvettes. Capability-wise, there are no constraints. In fact, for corvettes, there could be other yards also who would be capable.
Okay, thank you, sir. That's all from us.
We have built corvettes earlier.
Thank you very much. The follow-up question from Rohit Natarajan from Antique Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the follow-up. My question is more to do with the Russian Kilo-class submarines that we have, almost like 5 to 6 units which could possibly hit the decommissioning wave. When do you expect any medium refit life certification for those vessels?
Could you kindly repeat your question?
So my question is, from the existing fleet of submarines, do you expect the medium refit life certification extension program?
Yeah. I mean, see, the Navy has already approached us to give a plan for medium refits, life certification, as well as normal refits for Scorpene submarines, which is due from 2025. So there will be a consistent flow of submarines for refit to MDL. We hope in that way, and we are already having the second medium refit life certification going on for the second SSK submarine, German submarine. Third one is slated after this finishes, and thereafter the fourth one. Parallelly, we will be getting the Scorpene submarines normal refit. We are hoping to get those starting 2025.
Okay, so my final question is on the P-76, your plans with Warship Design Bureau. What is the plan over there, sir? I mean, the current status.
P-76 is a program which is not being steered by MDL. It is being steered by as you rightly said, it is by the Warship Design Bureau. So that we are, we won't be able to tell you much about P-76.
Sure, sir. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The follow-up question from Vignesh Iyer from Sequent Investment. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity again. So this question, I remember few quarters back, you did say that there is a 37 acres of land in Nhava Sheva and you have plans for that, and including and another project being floating dry docks. So I just wanted to understand what is the plan ahead. I mean, is there a plan to develop that infrastructure over that piece of land?
Yeah. So, we have plans to develop the Nhava yard in the long term, and at the same time, for short-term development, we have already initiated action. The floating dry dock, which is a floating asset, will be constructed and launched from Nhava yard. That activity has already started. A slipway also needs to be constructed in Nhava yard. That also is just getting started. By October this year, that as far as the floating dry dock is concerned, we will see full-fledged activity in Nhava yard. And as you already know, we have bagged 3 projects from the Indian Coast Guard. Out of that, 7 vessels we intend to construct and launch from Nava Yard using the floating dry dock, which is expected to be ready in October 25, that is next year. So Nava Yard is going to witness full-fledged activity in the coming days. We have to develop some hard stands that also it's already tendered out, and we'll be placing the order shortly.
What would be the size of this order that you're talking about?
Floating dry dock or
floating dry dock is approximately 500 crores, and as far as the investment at Nava is concerned, right now it is within our capex of approximately 300 crores. We are targeting a capex including the Nava Yard, which would be on a stage wise, but at the same time a full-fledged plan with respect to development of Nava Yard as a independent shipyard. That also is in the pipeline. So once the costs are formed up, that can be mentioned.
Okay, so if I get it right, you said the 300 crores is for the floating dry dock, right? The total expenditure that would be needed.
500 crores is for the floating dry dock over almost around 2.5 years, 32 months.
Okay.
And in addition to this, including this, there is an expenditure of approximately 350 crores on a per annum basis for civil infrastructure, for various infrastructures at Nava Yard, including the floating dry dock and maintenance capex at existing facilities.
Right. I get it. So just from your earlier comment, if I got it right, your P-15B destroyer, that one delivery is pending, that would get delivered. You're expecting that you could deliver that in FY25, right? If I'm right over here, right?
Absolutely correct.
Yeah. So I just want to know when. So we have got one more P-75 Kalvari submarines to be delivered. That would happen when?
It is planned to happen this year, in 2024.
Okay, right. Okay. Yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you, sir, and all the best.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Tarjan Nonia, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead.
We have seen in recent years, India has now, in different sectors especially, India is now more looking into the export part. We have already exported BrahMos and all, especially in southeastern countries. So are we also looking to export our frigates or something to southeastern Asian countries like Philippines and Vietnam and Malaysia?
Yeah, see, we had made efforts to export some of these products, but these countries, their defense budget is low because they're all developing countries, and the nature of their warfare is also different. They are not into blue water navies. So maximum what they require is offshore patrol vessels. To some of the countries we have given, therefore proposals have been given for offshore patrol vessels, not only in the Far East, even in some of the Latin American countries, African countries, etc. But there also it is a long-term process because the ministry and in many of these countries it has to operate through lines of credit, Exim Bank also needs to be involved. So it's a slightly long-term process, but we are making efforts for this.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Due to time constraint, that was the last question. I will now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Amit Dixit for closing comments.
Yeah, I would like to thank the management for sparing their valuable time this evening, and thanks to all the participants for attending this call. Before we conclude, I would like to turn the call back to Shri Singhal for his closing comments, if any. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to interact with the investors, and in fact it gives a lot of insight to the company management also, what is the understanding of the market and what expectations are there with respect to various projects and other areas which can be looked by MDL. This has been a very interactive session and we enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you very much. All the best and wish you all a good day.
On behalf of ICICI Securities, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.